Hello guys, in this video we will discuss all the basics of self-inductance, and starting from its definition, that we know that if a straight wire, we can say that this is a straight wire, and this straight wire is having a property of resistance, that it opposes the flow of current, and this property is known as ohmic resistance. Now we know that when we mold this wire in this form like a coil, then there is an additional property which is induced in this system, which is also called as self-inductance. Now what is self-inductance? See, whenever you will allow the current to flow from this coil, and the current is variable. So if this variable current is increasing, then a EMF would be induced in this inductor coil, which will oppose the change in this current, because this EMF is being induced due to this changing current, and hence this EMF will oppose the cause of its induction, and its cause of induction is this changing current. So this induced EMF will oppose the change of this current. Now in the first case, this current is increasing, and hence this EMF will try to oppose this current and will try to decrease this current, because the cause of the induction of this EMF is increasing current. So it will try to decrease this current. And we also know that the current is always opposed by the positive polarity. So this EMF would be developed with a polarity in such a way such that it will show a positive terminal towards this incoming current, so that it is being repelled and it is being decreased. So the induced EMF will have a polarity like that this would be the positive terminal and this would be the negative terminal. So this inductor coil will behave like a cell whose polarities are shown in the figure. Now if this current is decreasing, then the EMF induced in this inductor coil is due to decreasing current, and therefore this EMF will try to increase this current and will try to support it, and hence this EMF will show a negative terminal, negative polarity to this incoming current, so that this current may be attracted by that negative polarity. So if this current is attracted, then it will be increasing in its value, and this EMF is trying to increase this current, which is already decreasing. So the polarity of this induced EMF would be like that this terminal would be negative and this would be positive. So conclusively we can say that whenever some current which is flowing through an inductor coil is changed, then some EMF is being induced in that coil, and that EMF is induced due to that changing current. Therefore the induced EMF will oppose the change in current. And I'm not saying that the induced EMF is opposing the current. In fact, I'm saying that the induced EMF will oppose the change of current. If current is increasing, then induced EMF will try to decrease it, and if current is decreasing, then induced EMF will try to increase it. Okay, so the basic reason behind the induction of this EMF is the fact that whenever this current will flow from this coil, then some magnetic field will be induced in this coil like that. This is some magnetic field which is being induced in this coil. And if this magnetic field and magnetic flux will change due to this changing current, then the flux change is the basic cause of induction of EMF. So the basic cause of induction of this EMF is the change in flux, and this flux is being changing due to the changing current. So we conclusively say that in inductor coil, whenever current changes, then EMF is induced. Now, this flux which is linked with this inductor coil is also proportional to the current, and this flux is equal to L into I, where L is coefficient of self inductance. I will also tell you that why this word self is used. So I will tell you this after this derivation. Now the EMF we know is minus d phi by dt, and it is equal to minus L di by dt, because L is a constant which is dependent on the physical properties of this inductor coil. So this EMF is equal to E is equal to minus L di by dt, and where L is the coefficient of self inductance. The unit of L is also equal to phi upon I, unit of phi upon I, and unit of phi upon I is equal to Weber per ampere. So you can easily calculate the dimensions of L. Now, why this this phenomena is known as self-inductance? Because later on in this chapter we will study that if two coils are being kept nearby and the current flowing in any one of them is changing, then some EMF would be induced in the neighboring coil also, although they are not in any physical contact or any electrical contact. Then also the some EMF would be induced in the neighboring coil due to the change of current in the first coil. So this is known as mutual induction, because the changing current in any one coil is responsible for the EMF induction in the other coil, and this is the mutual induction. But in this case, the changing current in the same coil is responsible for the EMF generation in the same coil. So it is known as self-induction, because this EMF is induced due to the change of current flowing in the self coil or the same coil. So this is called as self-induction. Now we are moving on the next property, which is first of all, we know that any wire which is being molded in the shape of this coil would be having some internal resistance, which is also the ohmic resistance. So this signifies that whenever we are using an inductor coil, then there should be some internal ohmic resistance of that coil, and that internal resistance cannot be neglected, and we have to take it in account. So when we are drawing this inductor coil and we are being given with some internal resistance, then we should draw that internal resistance apart from that coil connected in series, and this is the real inductor. So if some internal resistance is not given in the question, then the inductor given is the ideal one, and the ideal inductor does not have any ohmic resistance, internal resistance. Now we know that the inertia, which we have already studied in Newton's laws of motion, that the inertia is an inherent property of some body which is having some mass, by virtue of which that body opposes the change in its velocity. Which means if that body is at rest, then it would try to be in rest, and if that body is in motion, then it would try to be in the motion. And this property is known as inertia. Now we are studying the analogy of inertia and inductance. So we can clearly see that self-inductance is also a property of a coil, by virtue of which that coil opposes any change in its current, and therefore we are comparing that coil with that body, that current with the velocity, and the self-inductance with inertia. So self-inductance for that reason is also called as electromagnetic inertia. So it is a very important term, that if some 1 mark question is being asked in boards, that which is which property is called as self electromagnetic inertia, then we should know that self-inductance is called as electromagnetic inertia. So now in the next video, we will move forward with the self-inductance. Thank you.